38-run win then for India as they start the T20I series in exactly the same fashion as they did the ODI series. They take a 1-0 lead. Let's look back at that game with Aakash Chopra and Muralidaran on ESPN Cricket for Match Day. As it turns out, Akash, we weren't sure if that's a par score or just above par score at halftime, but a 38-run win is a big one.
Oh, it's a huge win in the T20 context because 38 is after you have not scored anywhere close to 200 runs. That tells you that you've controlled the game quite nicely. At one stage, Sri Lanka were all set to actually take the game deeper. I won't say that they were in a position to absolutely bulldoze India and win the game, but they were in a position to actually make it a lot closer contest. But then lost a couple of wickets. Yuzi Chahal was absolutely outstanding, and they just could not get going. So once again, the same problem came back to bite them. If you got the start, you just don't let it pass. If you do that, there is enough quality in the opposition that will actually just squeeze you dry.
It looked like they had a decent power play, like Akash says. Murali, it looked like they were set to take the game deep, and Charita Asalanka looked like he was batting on a different surface. What went wrong for Sri Lanka in the chase?
No, I told you first of all, no, because people will think playing in India or somewhere the flat wickets and small grounds, 200 runs, they will take 180, 190 is the target. But in Sri Lanka, is a bigger ground, so you have to realize because it's very difficult to get 200 runs. Once you get 200 or 190, 180, very difficult to chase in these wickets because wicket will spin. There will be assistance for the bowlers. So there is be help for the bowlers. So it's hard to chase 160s and 170s because you have to play really well in the first 6 overs, and also they went well, but they gave about 2-3 wickets in the seventh and eighth over. So then India came to play. Then after that, you are playing almost a catching game because spinners come into play. Very difficult to take away them, and that's what happened today because
Hmm.
165 was a good score. I told you start of the game, Sri Lanka has to play really well to get this target.
So it was Chahal that changed the momentum. I'll come to Akash as well, but he's already pointed out that Chahal was outstanding. Murli, did he make the difference? Yuzvendra Chahal with the ball in the chase?
Yeah, spinners did, not only Chahal. I think Kunal Pandya bowled well. Then he came in also bowl decently, Varun Chakravarti. So three spinners did the damage, and the two fast bowlers, what they have is very experienced fast bowlers. Like in if you compare to Bhuvanesh, is one of the greatest bowlers in T20. Even in IPL, even if you say for India, he bowls really well. And Char is a season campaigner for Chennai Super Kings. So these two bowlers swings the ball and knows to the slow balls and death balls. So they are very well equipped at the time. So
Hmm.
India had a very good bowling attack. So it was very difficult to big ground with the condition helping to chase this 164.
It looks like Chahal and a lot of these bowlers would love playing at this Premadasa Stadium. Akash, they're not used to big grounds, and some of the miss hits tend to go over the top. They love playing here if they had the chance.
Oh yes, and they'll have the entire IPL, barring the a few games in Sharjah, Dubai, and Abu Dhabi are bigger grounds, and that's where the World Cup will be happening as well. And this is how it should be. To be honest, everything is stacked against the bowlers in the shortest format. You've got 10 wickets in hand and only 20 overs to bat, so you need to give something to the spinners, something to the bowlers, and these conditions, as Murli rightly pointed out, there has to be something in it for the bowlers. A bat fest, or rather a run fest, bat versus bat. These are the contests that you enjoy once in a while, but more often than not, you want a fair contest, at least between the bat and ball, and that is where 165, a total that you could chase down if you bat well. India might do that in the next game, but it should take some doing. It should not be a walk in the park, and that's where I think spinners, of course, they will enjoy bowling on these surfaces. Even though there is grass. It's different from the grass that what we see in India. There is a bit of spin, not a lot, but at least something in it for the bowlers to stay interested.
How do you rate Varun Chakravarti's debut effort? Akash seemed like a tough first 3 overs, and then the figures look good after that fourth over.
Yeah, that's all right. See, this is the first game that he's playing, and everybody is likely to go for runs. This is the shortest format. You've got butterflies in the stomach. It's not easy playing your first game for India when you've been waiting. Like he's been living this dream forever. Started as a wicket keeper, then fast bowler, injuries, went out, came back in. Could have actually debuted almost like 8, 10 months ago in Australia. Then missed the bus. Then failed the fitness test, and now he finally gets an opportunity. So you can just be a little more, maybe just have some sympathy with the kid, that you can actually be under pressure. And Asalanka was batting well, even Karuna Ratne was batting well for a little while. So you obviously were under the pump, and then you finish with less than 8 and over. You've got a wicket to boot. I think it's an all right debut. Of course, 3 or 4 wickets certainly look a lot brilliant, but it's a T20 game, and more often than not, you go for runs. 7.5, you'll take it with a wicket.
All right, Murli, very quickly for you, how do you rate Varun's debut effort?
I told you because it's not going to be easy for him to start because T20 is a harder game and they will come after. And he doesn't turn much, so there is a chance of if they read him, definitely can go after him. And he bowled decently, and I would take it anytime under 30 for one wicket in a T20 game. It's a very good performance for the debutant, and also he will also have a lot of confidence and future matches. If he's going to play regularly, he will get better and better.
All right, so Varun Chakravarti would take that. I mean, among the two debutants, he's had the better day. Prithvi Shaw, a forgettable one, but maybe that'll turn around very quickly. Second T20I on Tuesday between India and Sri Lanka. Murli, in the first T20I, Sri Lanka had their moments. With ball, they struck early. It looked like the Indian innings wasn't gathering the kind of power that it's used to towards the end, and even in the chase, Sri Lanka kept them in it, and yet they fell 38 behind. What do they need to turn around ahead of the second T20I for you?
See, in T20, it will look right because a shorter format, you are in the game, but actually you are not in the game. So that is always been because when you are there, first 5 6 overs, if you play well and if you don't know continuing the things, then it looks like you are there, but in the end it will come and hurt you because few 2 3 wickets you will collapse because very difficult to come back from T20 because you have to keep on taking the momentum from the start. Otherwise, in the middle, if you let go the momentum, coming back is very hard because you don't have many balls to play. So that's the one they have to realize when you are chasing a target 164, you have to go by every 5 overs what they have to the batsman do, and the messages should go, and batsmen are come and do the things what at the time you need. Whether you lose your wicket or doesn't matter, you have to go for the target because otherwise you will miss in the end because the run rate will creep up to 10 to 12 to 13 to 14. Then you try hard and you lose wickets and you lose like 30 runs. So that's what happened today.
I like what Murli says there, Akash. It may look like they're actually into the game, but in reality, they're not. Now, from the evidence of that first T20I, is there a significant gap in quality between both teams? I thought Sri Lanka might be more competitive in the shorter format.
With regards to the bowling, no. With regards to the batting, yes. Bowling, I think it's almost Steven Stevens. Of course, you'll get a bit more quality and experience in the Indian setup, but rule Sri Lankan bowling out at your own peril. Chamira was brilliant. Hasaranga is decent. You've got Akila Dhananjay. He may have been a little expensive, but then he has the skills. He's got the craft. But when you talk about the batting, one thing is hurting them very badly right through this tour. There was one inning that Avishka played beautifully, got I think man of the match in the last ODI, fantastic. But then every time you'll end up talking about him that a couple of wickets have fallen, you are looking set. Don't throw your wicket away, but he does that every time. So there is a pattern that he always gets off to a great start and then just throws it away. Last ODI. You look at then you're looking at Asalanka. So there's no batting depth in between. So Dhananjay had just one little innings in between, but he's been playing all the games. You got to get some runs from somewhere else, and that is where I think you are right in saying that there is an apparent gulf between these two sides as far as the batting quality and the experience is concerned.
In which case, Murli, would you recommend that Sri Lanka? Well, it's only one T20I, so I don't think you'd recommend changes. But would it serve them better to bat first, perhaps, and bat freely without scoreboard pressure?
Um, yeah, sometimes because when the batters are not batting well and they are finding difficult, chasing is always hard. So bat first and put some runs in. And they got capable bowlers because I don't think bowling wise Sri Lanka is maybe not experienced, but they are capable bowlers because if you see the spin, it's a good attack. And if you see you've got a fast bowler at 145 and others can help around him. So I think they got all rounders, but only problem is I would say they are batting because they are not um, finishing matches. Like you are if you want to win matches, at least one or two batsmen has to score more than 50 runs. At least one in a T20 50 runs, and two three players has to play more than 30-40 runs. So then only you can win a match. Here it's they are not whoever getting a start is not finishing with the team. So that's the biggest problem they have. So I think they will sort out in a way because maybe they are playing. They would have played a lot of 20 matches, but they are not learning. I would say they could have learned very quickly, and
Yeah.
whoever get a start, get going nearly about 60, 70 runs, and others play around him, and then you win matches. Otherwise, you're not going to win many matches.
Yeah, well, let's hope for a turnaround in the second game. Now, Akash, we're hearing from non-official sources that there's a chance Surya Kumar Yadav and Prithvi Shaw might soon be off to England. If that is indeed before the second T20I, I'm guessing that's the only situation in which there would be changes made. How would India react to that? Then who gets in for you?
There is Devdutt Padikkal, there is Ruturaj Gaikwad. They are both on this in this touring party. They've not had a game yet. Nitish Rana is another guy who got a game in the last ODI. Was batting at number 7, completely off position. So you've got a few options, and that's the thing with these COVID times that you've got plenty of options to choose from. And so India has got there's no dearth of options. Whoever plays has played enough for IPL cricket at least to make a mark or at least be competitive. So yes, whenever they go, we don't know when they do. But if they were to go in the middle of the series, they're not available for the next game. India will have the replacements ready.
All right, Aakash Chopra, Mutai Muralidaran, let's pick up this conversation during the second T20 International. Let's hope we have a better performance from Sri Lanka. It'll be nice to take this into a decider as this limited overs tour comes to a completion. Join us then on Tuesday on ESPN Cricket for Matchday. We're live half an hour before the start of the game. That's 7:30 if you're in India and Sri Lanka. Story from Colombo is similar to the ODI series. India take a 1-0 lead.